Anna needed money and, with her degree in history, the advertisement to catalog ancient objects seemed ideal. The job was simple. She would take care of a historic mansion in the town of Villa Serena, documenting and organizing relics for a future auction. The mansion, which belonged to the old Valverde family, had been empty for over 50 years and was surrounded by stories of disappearances and mysterious sounds. When she arrived, Anna was greeted by Arthur, the lawyer responsible for the property. He handed over the keys, gave her a few instructions and left quickly, with an expression that mixed relief and haste. "Avoid the attic at night," he said before leaving Anna puzzled. The mansion was huge, full of long corridors and dark rooms. The furniture was covered in sheets and the air carried a musty, metallic smell. In the center of the main hall stood a pendulum clock, stopped at 3:15. The first few nights, Anna heard noises. Footsteps echoed in the corridor, followed by soft laughter. At first, she attributed it to the wind or her mind playing tricks on her, but as she explored the source of the sounds, she felt the air become heavier, as if something was watching her. On the second day, she found a diary in the master bedroom. The pages spoke of a woman called Elisa Valverde, the last resident of the house, and her accounts were disturbing. Elisa mentioned echoes from beyond, and how voices whispered stories of suffering to her. The diary ended abruptly with the sentence, "They won't let me go." Anna tried to ignore it, but the next night, something changed. While she was cataloging a statuette in the hall, the clock's pendulum began to swing on its own, and the atmosphere around her turned icy. A shadow passed quickly over the corner of her vision, and a female voice echoed, "Help me." Frightened, Anna decided to sleep on the sofa in the living room with the lights on. In the middle of the night, she woke up and realized she was no longer in the living room, but in Elisa's bedroom. The bed was tidy and the window showed a clear, starry sky. A terrifying detail, it looked like daytime, but the clock read 3:15. As she looked around, she heard soft music coming from the corridor. It was a piano, playing a sad melody. Following the sound, he found the hall lit by chandeliers, with a figure sitting at the piano. It was a pale woman in an old dress, who stopped playing and looked directly at Anna. "You heard it too, didn't you?" said the woman. Anna tried to speak, but her voice wouldn't come out. The woman got up, walked over to her and whispered, "They're here." Then everything went dark. When Anna woke up, she was back on the sofa, but something had changed. The clock in the lounge read 3:15 again, even with the batteries removed. Determined to understand what was happening, she went back to Elisa's diary and discovered a pattern. All the mentions of supernatural events revolved around that time. Opening a door that had previously been locked, she found a room full of mirrors. Each one showed not her reflection, but different scenes from the mansion in times gone by, lavish parties, violent fights and static figures looking directly at her. In the center of the room was a table with a note that read, "The end is the beginning." Determined to face her fears, Anna went up to the attic. The place was covered in dust, with stacked furniture and sealed boxes. At the far end, there was a rocking chair facing the window. As she approached, the chair began to rock on its own, and a voice whispered behind her, "You set them free." Anna turned quickly, but there was no one there. Before she could go downstairs, the attic doors closed on their own and the room plunged into darkness. The walls began to vibrate, and translucent figures emerged from the floor. They looked distorted, trapped in expressions of pain and despair. "Why did you come?" one of them asked. "There's no way out." The figures surrounded Anna and, in a last-ditch effort, she shouted, "What do you want?" One of them replied, "You." When morning came, Arthur returned to the mansion to check on Anna, but she was nowhere to be seen. The house was intact, except for one new item in the collection, an oval mirror in the main hall. As Arthur approached, he saw Anna's reflection, screaming silently, as if she were trapped on the other side. The mansion continued to whisper and the clock struck 3:15.